we have a house church up in Tewksbury, Massachusetts, and we meet every 2 weeks, and I met over the internet a young man that was a Jehovah's Witness. He saw one of the videos we have on there, and he wanted to come and visit our house church. So we came up one day, and he's the literature servant at the Kingdom Hall. So he says, Rick, whatever you want. He says, whatever you want, I can get for you. So we went back. He got all the stuff that we were missing. And the strangest thing, he still comes out. This has been going on now for probably 5 or 6 months. So he likes real Christianity. He loves the real Jesus. So he goes to the Kingdom Hall in the morning, and he comes to our church in the afternoon. And it's odd. It's very odd when you hear this. But then he also is bringing his sister. She's a pioneer. And her husband, who's another ministerial servant. So we have 3 active Jehovah's Witnesses coming and studying the Bible with us and attending our little church. So that's an amazing thing. Praise the Lord on that one. Now, I wanted to mention to you concerning this November 15th, 2005. I mean, you can see 2008. I'm sorry. That's very current. And they had a couple of articles here. Help those who stray from the flock, and also help them return without delay. Now, we've heard articles like this before, no doubt, and basically what they're saying here is let me turn to the next page here, let me get it a little clearer. There's an appeal that's going out in this Watchtower to try to get these inactive ones back. And that is the problem. Now, you never really see it in a study article in the past before. Usually they'd put it in a KM or they'd put it in a box somewhere. But now they're going to study on how they can go back and get some of these inactive ones back into the organization. So that's an amazing thing. When you see this, you can see that it's got to be on their mind. Nothing really is new with this idea, like I say, with talking about inactive ones, but the new part is it's right in a study article. So you can see somebody at the headquarters is pretty, concerned about it. And in that particular article in here, it gives the reasons why people become inactive. And some of the reasons are, have anxieties of life taken a toll? Well, maybe the only anxiety they really have is being in the Watchtower. And then they also ask, were you stumbled? Is it perhaps someone that might have stumbled? One of the elders might have stumbled in an active one. Another thought was maybe there was improper conduct. That was another thought that stumbled someone, and they're out of it. They no longer want to be a witness. And then the 4th point was made, was it a problem with teaching? Well, they hit that one on the nose. Bingo. It is. Most of the people that leave because of being inactive leave because there is a problem with teaching. It's incorrect. It's false. Now, the problem was also brought to the public's attention this year. Some might have saw it. It was in the Pew Report. How many saw the Pew Report? It's a report on religions in America. And we see that it was mentioned in this report. In fact, it was in Time magazine. So this is the public thing here now. This isn't just something that the Watchtower can hide, because the public got a hold of it, Time magazine particularly. And February 25th, 2008, just a few months back, half a year ago, TimeMagazine.com. A major new religious survey was released on American religion. The report was released by the Pew Forum on Religion and Public Life. Pew director Louis Lugo said Americans not only change jobs, change where they live, and change spouses, they change religions too. The group stated that some religious groups have a relatively steady number of adherents over the years and hides a remarkable amount of those that leave. Well, the Watchtower does that, don't they? They're always so eager to tell you, hey, we got so many coming in. But they hide those going out. The most extreme example, according to Time magazine and the Pew Report, of what might be called masked churn, that's turnover rate, is the relatively tiny Jehovah's Witnesses, where they just made the list. But they said they have the highest rate of turnover. 2/3. That means that 2/3 of the people that told Pew that they were raised as Jehovah's Witnesses are no longer Jehovah's Witnesses. So there's some evidence right there. So no wonder why the Jehovah's Witnesses have to keep knocking on doors. They've got to keep aggressively recruiting to keep bringing in as many as they can so these numbers can still look halfway decent. Now, according to the July 15th, 2008 study edition Watchtower, this is where most of the new stuff is coming from, something is very strange here. The Watchtowers always saying they're growing, but at the same time we see Kingdom Halls compressing. We don't see as many seats at the Kingdom Hall. We don't see the parking lots filled up like they used to be. You don't see them in service like you used to see. So we got the July 15, 2008. How are they going to explain this to the publishers when they come in and they see all of these empty seats and empty parking lots, and when they go to the assemblies and they're continuing to have whole sections roped off? They got to come up with something. And the Watchtower is sharp. They're masters at this, are they not? So here's what they did. Here's exactly what they did. They had to somehow make this future growth look real. So they pulled an old trick. They're now going to resort to saying this future growth, you guessed it, is invisible. No. Now, you know, how do you make sense? How do you make sense out of nonsense? So let's go to the July 15, 2008 Watchtower, and let's take a look at it. It says here, the page number is 19. 2008 Watchtower, page 19. It says the illustration of the leaven. Growth is not always visible to human eyes. In his next illustration, Jesus emphasizes this point. He says, the kingdom of the heavens is like leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 large measures of flour until the whole mass was fermented. Dropping down to paragraph 13. Thus, the leavening process was hidden from the view of the housewife. This reminds us of the man who sows seed and sleeps at night. Jesus said that the seed sprouts and grows tall, just how the man does not know. What a simple way to illustrate the unseen progression of spiritual growth. We may not see the growth initially, but eventually its results become manifest. Now, this that's it. Yes, Jim.
If I hear a knock at the door, and I go to the door, and I don't see anyone there, publisher and start Watchtower.
It's an invisible publisher, yes, yes. So, you know, that's why you have to really look at it. We can look at it now, and we can chuckle because it's absolutely crazy.